Hello, everyone, and welcome to Battle of the Beasts Transformation Takedown, episode number 4. I'm Adam, and today we've got two more beasts fighting out for a spot in round 2. This matchup isn't the most interesting, but it does have some beasts which I'm relatively okay with, so I guess that's a win. So, representing Series 3, the Dark Realm, we have Sting the Scorpion Man. And his opponent, representing Series 10, Master of the Beasts, one of the Knights of Forton, the one who has the flail. It is Shamani, the Raging Flame, otherwise known as the Black Knight. So yeah, Sting versus Shamani. We're getting right into this with the stats. Let's get into that. Sting the Scorpion Man. Sting was created by the dark wizard Malvel. The beast lived in the terrifying dark tunnels beneath Malvel's Gorgonian castle. Tom and Eleanor were attacked by Sting's giant pincers in a crumbling chamber, from which they only just managed to escape. Age 15, power 248, magic level 162, fright factor 71, size 100. Powers and abilities: natural armor, natural weaponry, enhanced strength, and speech. Equipment: sword and purple jewel. Weakness: human parts and tail removal. Shamani the Raging Flame. Shamani takes the form of a huge cat with black fur that gleams like spilt oil. He can leap 20 paces in a single bound, and he has a long, vicious fangs. Shamani is an ancient beast, once defeated by the Red Knight of Forton. Red? Pretty sure it's black. Just red is luster. This beast's roars are so loud they splinter rocks, and sparks fly when he rakes his claws across the ground. With a flick of his tail, he can knock a grown man flying. Age 330, power 220, magic level 155, fright factor 82, size 192. Fun fact: Shamani's claws are made of magical amber. Powers and abilities: natural weaponry, flame aura, enhanced strength, enhanced durability, and enhanced reactions. Weaknesses are durability limits. Oh, and Shamani can change into the Black Knight, with the weapon being the flail. Okay, so Sting versus Shamani. The battlefield will be a rocky terrain arena. The first one this tournament, I believe, unless I'm forgetting one. I don't think I am. So yeah, rocky terrain. Let's get into this. As the beasts exit from their chambers, Sting scuttles out with sword at the ready to attack anything that comes near. And then, from the other side of the arena, a Black Knight comes out wielding a flail, swinging the little spiked ball at the end in a circular formation, and then, with the free hand, gestures Sting to come near. Sting, enraged by this, lifts up his tail, bangs it against the ground, and the portal opens beneath him, where he goes down into it and pops up right next to the Black Knight, where he lifts up his sword and slashes it right onto Shamani Nightform's chest, knocking the knight backwards. The knight comes back, charges up towards Sting, lifting up the flail, and swings it down towards Sting, hitting Sting's shoulder. Sting roars in pain, and using the pincer, grabs onto the knight, lifting him up, staring into his eyes, and using the sword, goes to jab it right into the knight's head. But as Sting was about to do that, the knight changes into Shamani, and the flame aura around Shamani is too hot for Sting to hold on to, where he lets go, reeling in pain from the burn on this pincer. And almost immediately, Sting is then jumped by Shamani, where Shamani pins Sting down. Sting lifts up his tail, creates another portal for Sting to fall into, which immediately closes as soon as Sting's disappeared, and Sting reappears at the other end of the arena. Shamani hears the portal open and close from the other side, in which he bounds up towards that area. Sting readying his sword, pincer, and tail, ready to attack Shamani. Shamani's darting from side to side, trying to confuse Sting. As Shamani goes to pounce at Sting, Sting slashes the sword, but was too early with the reaction, as Shamani dodges it without having to even try, pins Sting down to the ground, scratches at the shell with the amber claws going right through the shell. Sting roars in pain as Shamani jumps off of Sting, giving Sting time to get back up, in which Sting goes to chuck the sword in a disc-like formation towards Shamani, in which Shamani sees it coming and dodges it at the last second. She then charges up towards Sting, who lifts up his tail and bangs it onto the ground, creating a portal for him to fall into and then reappear next to the sword, which Shamani immediately turns around for and charges up towards Sting again. Sting, realizing that there's not much he can do to wear out this beast, charges up towards Shamani, using his pincer that doesn't hold the sword to protect his wound. As he goes to swing his sword at Shamani, Shamani grabs it with his fangs, rips it out of Sting's mouth, and then drops it right in front of Sting, where Shamani's claws are over it. She is crouched down, growling at Sting. Sting takes a step back to get to a safe distance. Shamani sees this and realizes that someone is scared. She then immediately pounces for Sting, in which Sting lifts up both his pincers to try and push Shamani back. Shamani sees that, lifts up her front claws and slashes them right down onto Sting at the joint part of the pincer and the arm, which slices the pincers clean off. Sting roars in pain by this, and using the tail, he goes to sting at Shamani. Shamani dodges the tail and bites down on it and pulls it as hard as he can, pulling Sting completely off balance. And then when Sting is on the floor, using a claw, pins the tail down, still biting onto it, and pulls until it's pulled completely off. Sting, roaring in pain by this and bleeding out from his injuries, is only just able to get up, and as he stares at Shamani changing back into the Black Knight, who's swinging the flail around, walks up towards Sting, and lifting up just one arm, swinging the flail around, brings it right into his head, where the spiked ball lands directly in the forehead. Sting lets out a loud gasp of air release as it makes direct contact with him, and he immediately falls to the ground, blood coming out of his wounds from his arms, his tail, and his head. The Black Knight stops turning the flail, stares at his handiwork, and then turns into Shamani one more time to lift up one claw and spring it down directly onto Sting's head, shattering the skull. As he turns back into his knight's form and makes his way back to his chamber, satisfied with this victory. So that Shamani's won, Sting has lost. If you think Sting should have won, please comment below. I think that how my words final and Shamani's moving on to the next round. Yeah, there is no way Sting was going to win that fight. I'm sorry. I'm not the biggest fan of Shamani. I think that's obvious. But let's be honest when I say Shamani is incredibly agile, has amber claws, sharp fangs, enhanced reflexes, and a flame-like aura. There's nothing Sting can do. He can try and get to a safe distance away from Shamani, but ultimately, though, he will need to try to attack Shamani because that's how the rules work, according to the new landlord, who, by the way, is named Danny. So, yeah, Danny, the landlord, said, like with the rules of every tournament, that the beast needs to kill the other beast and move on to the next round. And if you forfeit, you can't forfeit. You either live or you die. There's no in between. So, yeah, unfortunately, Sting died quite brutally in round one again. So, poor Sting is not getting the chance to really shine. But then again, he's not the best beast. So, with that, yeah, Shamani won quite easily, might I add. I don't think anyone can really disagree with that opinion here. So with that's all for this time. Join me in battle number 5, where we'll be having battle with 2 more beasts, one of which I forgot to add to the draft. So with that, I'll see you next time.